Hey gang, on Friday I made a decision that was going to kick me up into the category of serious knife user. Those are in capital letters if you are going to write them down underneath my name or have a stamp made up for me. I ordered a Bark River Bravo 1. So this is a Bravo 1, pretty famous design by Bark River Knives. It came in this leather sheath in the box, just as you saw. I'll talk about the sheath in a little bit, but let's get the knife out and start pouring over it because this is a beautiful knife, it's a well-made knife, very cool knife, and again, a knife for serious knife users, which is now what I am. So what you get is 3V steel in this one. You get it slightly thinner than your standard Bravo 1 as well. The standard Bravo 1 comes in A2 steel at 1/4 of an inch thick. This one is at 3/16 of an inch. I'll show you some comparisons in a little while. You get a brown micarta handle, which is polished to a very nice smooth sheen. You get a thumb ramp there, which you can have removed if you order from Bark River or one of their American-based dealers. You get some pinned-on handles, you get a lanyard tube, you get a semi-sharp spine. It will strike a ferro rod, but not amazingly well. And you get a nice Coke bottle handle shape, which is really, really nice to hold. I really enjoy holding this knife already. So 3V steel is kind of the selling point for me. I haven't had a knife in 3V. The toughness of this steel enables them to thin it down a little bit, keep that awesome convex edge, but not worry so much about needing a big thick slab of A2 steel to stay, structurally sound when being put through abuse and things of that nature. So it's about a 4.5 inch blade. Again, I'll wheel in some comparisons soon, but it definitely meets the realm of sort of that either compact survival knife, general camp knife due to its thinness in this case. A bushcraft knife, it would do fine. You know what, this is really a good blade for really any purpose. Even a hunting knife, 3V isn't super stainless steel, but certainly, carbon steels have known to be carving knives and hunting knives for a long time. And the nice belly on this one would be good for that as well. I'll get in some, this is the lanyard tube by the way, so you can put a pretty reasonable sized piece of cordage through that if you're going to be chopping and swinging, which is somewhat possible I guess. So I'll do some size comparisons. I'll just put it down in the middle and bring out, first I'll bring out the SE4 with the handle modification. So pretty similar sized knife. This perspective messes with it a bit. The blade on the Bark River is a little bit longer than the SE4, which is 4 straight inches, but that's a pretty good yardstick in terms of what you can expect the capabilities of. This is a Mora Companion, just because everyone knows how big a Mora Companion is. 3.9-ish inches, I think, on the Mora Companion. Much sort of narrower, thinner blade. I'll show thickness comparisons in a little while. That's the LT Wright Genesis in A2 steel. Very similar sized knife, kind of very similar in other senses as well. It's got that sort of handmade, heritagey sort of feel to it, and expensive too. Oh yes. This is a cold steel SRK, just something larger and more sort of survivey or tactically minded, just to show you. And that's a Falcon S1, which is smaller than the SRK but larger than the Bravo. So the way I see it, the Bravo kind of fits in between the size of the Falcon F1, as now pictured below, and the S1, which is pictured above. So the F1 is kind of a really compact little sort of utility camp knife, and the S1 is more of your larger sort of hunting or survival knives. So the sheath, my initial impression of the sheath isn't super positive. It's not super negative, but it's definitely not to the caliber of the knife. I can see what they're trying to do. Awesome American-made leather sheath, and it's a well-made leather sheath. All the parts are going together really well. It's got a nice welt burnished around the edge. It's got good supple leather that did feel a little bit dry, I must admit. And it's got this strap here that comes across, which you need to put back behind that. That's what that cutout is for. You need to pull the strap back and put it there, because as you'll see in a second, the knife can really struggle to get past that. And even when you're putting the knife back in, the strap can hang up on the knife a little bit and you have to either push past it or readjust. That strap is going to get beaten to hell. So it is just one of those things. The knife feels hard, it feels tight enough without it, but if you see here, that might be the case very soon, because that's just a natural draw and it's gradually cutting away at that strap. A bit of an oversight, I must admit, but tucking it behind, thumbs up, you'll do fine for the immediacy anyway. I'll probably end up getting a Kydex made for this, I think, because I really like the knife, but that strap's just going to wear out, it's going to bug me. On my hip, you can see here, it hangs nice and low, so I did get that part right. It's not sort of halfway up your midriff or anything like that. Unclip it, remember to pin behind, there we go, and pull the knife out. So it's a little bit of an extra process than your more simple type sheaths, but yeah, it works okay. Big sort of, just give the knife a big push down in, get it in there past that little weird strap level thing. So yeah, overall, I mean, it's not terrible, but I mean, some people hate this knife. I read Everyday Commentaries reviewing it. Sorry, not the knife. He hated the sheath. He gave it, out of maximum 4 points for sheath and sheath carry and sheath accessibility, 0 out of 4. So I'm not quite there because I think it's well enough made and it carries the knife low, which is better than some real sort of hip tummy fat stuffers, but could have been better for sure. What I suggest you do is grab some Obenaufs at the very least and get that dry feeling going straight away. So Obenauf's LP is like a good leather preservative, all naturally sort of beeswax type ingredients. So just get that between your hands. It's a hot day out, so just liberally smear it all over. It'll darken the leather up. Just add some waterproofing, add some ductility, some flexibility to it. That'll soak in. Do another coat in another week or so, and it'll do just fine. Kind of make it look a little bit nicer as well. I don't mind the really light colour, but I think it looks a bit better with this new sort of darker colour, which the Obenaufs does to great effect. So there we go. I mean, overall though, I don't really mind the, I like the holes in the sheath, I like the white stitching, I think it looks cool. I like the ferro rod loop, that's pretty good as well, but just in general, I've probably just gone with a Kydex sheath or with like even a Falcon, even cheapy plastic sheath would have been fine as well. But hey, we get to play with leather, we get to put Obenaufs on and around our hands, which to me, I just find, frankly, a slightly erotic experience more than anything, so as you might be able to tell. But yes, thickness, speaking of segue into thickness, shall we? Great work, Pete. So this is a Mora, the SE4, the Bravo 1, the Falcon Even A1, and then the Cold Steel Trailmaster. So the A1's just under just under quarter of an inch. So it's about on par with the SE4. This is the two of them neck and neck. So that thickness. The convex edge it comes with is, as far as I can tell, a full convex. So it's not micro beveled in any way. If there is one, it's a tiny one. It shaves wood crazy well. These are effortless little feathers coming off this wood right now. Really easy to pick up. I noticed Falkniven's convex is a little bit, maybe it's tougher, I don't know, but it's a little bit trickier to angle to be able to get those feathers going. But this one, really, really happy with, straight out of the box, straight into business. It feels a bit like when you carve with like a really sharp, thin-bitted Granfors axe or something. So really, really nice woodworking knife as well. Look, I can see overall this is a really great using knife. The best thing about that convex edge is that it's going to sharpen back to life using easy methods, so using strops and things. The 3V steel is going to stay sharp for a long, long time. The Coke bottle shaped micarta polished handle both looks really nice, looks really pleasing to both knife people and non-knife people alike, and it feels great in my hand. The thumb ramp to me isn't super bothering. It's not so high that you can't just reach over it if you do want to do some thumb on the back action, so happy with that as well. I probably wouldn't, maybe I would get it done if it was easy for me, but it wasn't, so I didn't. Overall, this isn't the full review. Keep an eye out for the full review in a little while, but it's a very, very positive first impression for this $300 real knife user's knife. Thanks very much, dudes. I'll see you in the next video.